Hey guys, it's Rizzy from White Pine. What we're trying to do at White Pine is to make some easy videos for you guys to follow and learn from, so it can make your everyday life a little bit more comfortable and a little bit easier to do. Okay, so what we're going to start with is a bridge. Now, where I place my foot plays a big key on what muscle I'm really targeting. I want it as close as possible to my glutes, but just don't force your foot close to your glutes. Okay, but as close as you can get it, hands on your side. Squeeze and contract the stomach. What we're really going to work on is to teach you guys how to contract the muscle before you actually start to use the muscle. So hands on your side, big inhale, squeeze up, squeeze the glutes, back down. And what I like to do, I like to exhale on the way up, inhale on the way down. Think about squeezing every little bit of muscle you have in those legs. And we're going to go for 10 of these. That's 3, make sure you squeeze those glutes. And what we're going to follow this up with, it's hand underneath your glutes, both legs up, point the toes towards yourself. One comes down, squeeze those abs, back down. Back up, back down. Now, if you guys are feeling any lower back discomfort, what I want you to do, place one foot on the ground, other foot up, and same thing, and just make sure you're contracting your stomach. Okay, so back and up, okay? And same thing with the other side. You can do 10 of them. And if you're not feeling any discomfort in the low back, hands underneath the glutes, and we're going to do this one. So when one foot's down, obviously I can't alternate, but this one I'm just going to alternate as I'm doing it. And just make sure the toes actually plays a big role, because the more I have this toe towards myself, the more I'm stretching the calf, hamstring, and I'm also engaging my quad, rather than if the toes are relaxed and my knees bending. Okay, we're going to do the second set now. Another thing I want you to pay attention to is your upper back. Try to squeeze those shoulder blades together and keep it nice, tight, and firm. Okay, at the same time, make sure you avoid an arc in your low back. So you're always trying to pin that low back, which is going to force you to engage that core. Okay? Hands on your side. Let's go for it. Big inhale. Exhale, squeeze. Inhale. Exhale, squeeze. And the entire time, learn to contract. Learn to squeeze those muscles. And one thing I'm realizing is that the more I talk, the more I can't count. Hopefully you guys are counting. Let's go for 10 of them. Squeeze and engage. With the leg raises. And basically what I'm doing with my hands when I put it under my butt is I'm helping and I'm giving some support to my low back. Okay, so it actually helps me pin that low back rather than arc. Let's go for it. Now, when I bring it all the way up, it also does make it a little bit easier. If you want to make it more challenging, you can keep it in this range. It's going to be more challenging. And squeeze those abs. There we go. Now, one thing I like to do right after I do these exercises, just because there might be some tightness in my low back, I'm going to hug my knees and just bring them back. If this is tough for you, you can also hold it down here. If this is challenging for you, you can get a small towel and just hook it on the back of your knees and pull this way. And again, concentrate on deep breaths. And if you can't, try to breathe through your diaphragm rather than your chest, okay? So don't breathe through the lungs. Fill that stomach up. Okay, and let's go for set number 3. Same thing. Squeeze those shoulder blades, squeeze that core, and let's go. Make sure you squeeze your glutes. Okay, hands underneath your glutes. Let's shoot. Squeeze that core, make sure the toe is pointed right up. Okay, and back to your stretch. Now another thing you can also do, you can grab your knees and pull it to the side so you're basically opening up, and you're also going to feel a stretch right in your groin, in your hip flexor. It's always a good stretch to relieve some low back discomfort. And when it comes to stretching, what I personally like to do, just because I don't want to give you a number to count, is go by deep breaths. Take 10 to 15 deep breaths. Okay, so what I'm doing right now is a kick up. Now, whenever I'm in this position for bird dog, kick ups, anything that I want to do in this position, my hand's always going to sit right under my shoulder. My knees are lined up with my hips. Now, I want you to pay attention to this arc in my low back. I don't want this arc in my low back because it can cause discomfort in my low back. So what I need to do, again, engage that core. So my back is fully straight. I can do that by just engaging my core. Now what I want you to do, inhale, and bent in the knee, and I'm just going up, heel towards the ceiling. And also make sure your hips are lined up, so your hips always going to want to do this. Bring it down. We're going to do 10 on one side, then we'll do 10 on the next. There we go. Okay, set 2, same thing, engage that core. Let's get it. Okay, another thing is when we're in this position, a lot of us can experience wrist pain. So what I like to do, I like to go on my knuckles. Okay? And another thing that can happen, you can experience shoulder discomfort. Now, if you're in this situation, in this position, and you're experiencing shoulder discomfort, again, we're going to make videos that's going to go over it, how to strengthen the shoulder so we can become in this position to begin with, okay? Now let's follow last set. Also, if you want to make it more challenging, you can always place dumbbell right there behind your knee to just add some more resistance. Okay. Okay guys, we're going to finish off with a superset for core. We're going to do a dead bug and a bird dog. I'm going to start off with a bird dog. And what we're gonna do, make sure, again, hands are underneath your shoulders, knees lined up with your hips. I want you to contract your back, so squeeze your shoulder blades together. I'm gonna exhale on the way out, and I'm gonna inhale on the way in. So, touch. And make sure you keep that core nice and tight. You're squeezing it firmly. Okay, let's go other side. Exhale, inhale. And we're going to follow it up with a bird dog. So I'm going to lay on my back. Any core exercise that I'm doing on my back, it can cause my lower back to arch up. And I really want to prevent that from happening. So make sure you pin it down, squeeze that core, hands up, shoulders back. So again, squeeze your shoulder blades together, keeping the core nice and tight. Hands up. I'm going to extend one arm, and the opposite leg I'm going to extend at the same time. So, and I like to exhale, because when I exhale, it's actually a lot easier to keep that lower back pinned, rather than when I inhale, and it can really cause some discomfort in my low back if I'm doing it for a long term. Again. Make sure you keep it nice and tight. Now, if you felt discomfort in your low back while we're doing this, what I want you to do, so pin it back down, so you're giving yourself some support, and just extend one leg, back in, other leg, back in. One leg, back in, other leg, back in. Now, even if that's causing you discomfort, go back to one leg, okay? So one leg stays on the ground, other leg up, point your toe towards yourself, extend, back in. Extend, back in, okay? And we'll work our way up to it. Let's go set number 2. Just make sure you don't really try to speed things up and get it over with. Control the exercise, don't let the exercise control you. Contract the back, hands up. Now, for those of us that have issues in the shoulder with range of motion, it's fine if your hands stay up there. It's okay, you don't need to bring it all the way back if you're feeling any discomfort. Guys, last set. I'm proud of every single one of you. Let's go. And make sure, most important thing, control that hip. Make sure it's level. And let's finish off our bird dogs. Okay. Squeeze that core, guys. Okay, and that's it for us. Make sure you go over Tammy's stretches for lower back, just because when we're doing core exercise, sometimes you're going to feel some discomfort in the beginning until you get that core nice and strong and ready to go. Okay, I'm going to post more videos and exercises, programs for you guys to do. Well, not really programs, but just little routines you can get into. They won't be time consuming, even though right now I feel like we all have too much time on our hands. If you guys have any questions or suggestions, please do leave a comment for me. And guys, if you could, please make sure you like, share, and subscribe to our channel.